There's a moment when you realize people don't move through life by chance. They move through control. Every smile, every word, every silence is a quiet calculation. The world isn't shaped by truth. It's shaped by those who understand how truth can be used. Machiavelli understood this. Centuries ago, he saw what most people still refuse to see. That power isn't taken by force, it's taken by understanding the weakness of others and mastering your own. His ideas weren't written for tyrants. They were written for those who wanted to see the world without illusion, who dared to understand how people truly think, react, and surrender. Most people like to believe they are free. They speak of choice, of morality, of fairness. But beneath every action lies a hidden desire to influence, to be seen, to matter. Machiavelli knew that morality bends under the weight of power. He saw that people will always follow those who give them what they feel they need, even if it's an illusion. People aren't drawn to truth, they are drawn to comfort. They are not guided by logic, but by fear and desire. And anyone who learns to speak to those emotions holds more control than anyone who argues with reason. He understood that manipulation isn't always malicious. It's a reflection of how easily the human mind can be swayed by what it wants to believe. Control doesn't come from shouting orders. It comes from silence, from patience, from understanding what drives another person's fear, desire, and pride. People reveal their weaknesses not through confession but through reaction. When they're angry, they show you what they protect. When they're jealous, they show you what they lack. When they're silent, they show you what they hide. The skilled observer doesn't speak first. He watches. He listens. He studies how emotion shapes logic. Machiavelli's wisdom was not about cruelty, it was about clarity. He knew that to lead others, you must first see them clearly, stripped of the stories they tell themselves. Love, guilt, charm, each one is a thread. Pull the right one, and even the strongest will follow. Dark psychology begins where honesty ends. We lie not only to others but to ourselves. We say we want peace, but we crave dominance. We say we seek love, but we want control. We dress our ambition as virtue, our fear as kindness, our selfishness as generosity, and because everyone plays this game, we call it civilization. Machiavelli didn't invent the game, he simply named it. He stripped away the illusion that people are guided by goodness. He showed that life is not a battle between good and evil, but between awareness and ignorance. Those who see clearly move the pieces. Those who don't become them. Look around, and you'll see how his ideas still breathe today. In relationships, at work, in politics, control flows quietly through every interaction. The charming co-worker who flatters to gain trust, the partner who uses silence as punishment, the influencer who sells validation disguised as advice. None of it feels dangerous because it's dressed in emotion. But behind every gesture, there's an intention. Behind every smile, a small negotiation. Most people are unaware of how easily they can be led, how predictably they respond to approval, rejection, or fear of loss. Machiavelli saw that control isn't maintained through violence, it's maintained through understanding. If you can read the heart, you can guide the mind. He taught that power survives not through strength but through perception. Appear virtuous, he said, even if you are not. Because people believe what they see more than what is true. To appear kind while remaining calculated, to seem honest while being strategic, these were not moral lessons but practical ones. He understood that the human mind is built to trust images, not substance. It craves safety, not truth. And whoever provides the illusion of safety becomes the one others obey. But the same psychology that manipulates others can destroy the manipulator. The thirst for control is a trap. Once you begin to play the game, you risk losing yourself inside it. The more you analyze others, the less you understand yourself. The more you control, the less you trust. Power feeds on attention, and attention becomes addiction. Machiavelli's secret was not just how to take control, but how not to be consumed by it. True power begins when you no longer need to prove you have it. When you stop reacting to others' approval or fear, you become untouchable not because you dominate, but because you no longer need to. The real struggle of dark psychology isn't between manipulator and victim, it's between awareness and impulse. The one who controls others is often controlled by something deeper: insecurity, fear of loss, the need to be seen. The same hunger that drives a ruler to dominate drives an ordinary person to manipulate in small ways. Every human mind carries that shadow. We learn to hide it because it frightens us, yet denying it only gives it more power. Machiavelli's true insight was not in teaching deceit, but in exposing it. He made people uncomfortable because he forced them to admit that their morality is often situational, their goodness conditional, and their honesty selective. You can't control others until you control yourself. The same mind that manipulates must resist being manipulated. The same hunger for power that lifts one person can destroy another. Self-control, that's the real throne Machiavelli pointed to. To see your own darkness without flinching, to use it without being consumed by it, that is mastery. Power without awareness always ends in destruction. Awareness without courage is just another form of weakness. The key is balance, to understand human nature without despising it, to use influence without losing empathy, and to protect yourself without turning cold. Control begins with observation, but ends with restraint. The greatest mistake people make is thinking that domination equals strength. Real control is invisible. It's the ability to choose silence when others demand reaction, to stay grounded when emotions pull you apart, to see through manipulation without needing to expose it. That's the kind of control Machiavelli hinted at, but few ever learn. It's not about conquering others, it's about mastering the chaos within. So when you think of Machiavelli, don't imagine a villain whispering in the dark. Imagine a mirror, one that shows you the truth most people avoid. We all wear masks, we all play the game. Some do it to survive, some to lead, and some because they've finally realized that in a world built on control, the only real power is to know exactly who you are beneath it all. The darkness you fear in others has always been inside you. It's not a curse, it's a choice, and once you face it, no one can ever control you again. Silence follows that thought like a shadow, because once you understand the nature of control, the illusion breaks. You stop chasing approval. You stop fearing rejection. You start moving through the world differently, quiet, deliberate, aware. You no longer react to manipulation because you see it before it arrives. You speak when it matters, observe when it doesn't, and choose your battles with precision. That's the secret Machiavelli left behind, not cruelty, not deception, but awareness. The kind of awareness that frees you from the invisible strings others spend their lives pulling. And maybe that's the real formula for taking control of your life. It's not about becoming ruthless or detached. It's about understanding that every person you meet is fighting their own unseen war for validation and control, just like you are. When you see that clearly, the world changes. You stop being a pawn in someone else's game. You start setting your own rules, not through manipulation, but through mastery of the mind. In that quiet understanding, in that balance between awareness and control, lies the one thing Machiavelli knew few would ever grasp: freedom.